Your dog is trying to tell you something, and the strange part is, they've probably been trying for a long time. But like most dog owners, you're not seeing it because what looks like simple behavior is actually communication. And once you understand what it means, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Think about this for a second. Your dog looks at you, not just quickly, but intentionally, holding your gaze just a little longer than normal. That moment feels small, almost insignificant, but it's not, because in that exact moment, your dog is doing something very specific. They're checking in, trying to understand you, trying to read the situation, trying to decide what comes next. And the problem is, most people miss it completely. They assume it's just affection, or curiosity, or randomness. But dogs don't operate randomly. They operate through patterns, through repetition, through signals that are subtle, but incredibly consistent. And if you don't learn to see those signals, you miss the entire conversation. Let's slow this down. Imagine you're somewhere unfamiliar, a new place, new sounds, new smells. You don't feel fully comfortable yet. What's the first thing you do? You look for something familiar, something stable, someone you trust. Now think about your dog. Every day, they are in a world they don't fully understand. They don't understand language the way you do. They don't understand plans. They don't understand what's about to happen next. So, what do they rely on? You, your presence, your movement, your energy. You are their reference point, and that changes everything. Because now, every glance, every movement, every small behavior has meaning. Now let's talk about something even more obvious: following you from one room to another, from the kitchen to the living room to the bathroom, even when nothing is happening. You stand up, they stand up. You move, they follow. It feels normal, even comforting. But here's the part most people don't realize. There are two completely different reasons your dog might do this, and they look almost identical. The first reason is connection. Your dog enjoys being near you. They feel relaxed, safe, comfortable. Being close to you feels good. That's the version everyone talks about. But there's another reason, and it's much deeper: dependence. In this case, your dog isn't following you because they want to. They're following you because they feel like they need to, and that changes everything. Because now, it's not just affection, it's emotional reliance. And if you don't recognize the difference, you might be reinforcing it without even realizing it. Think about this carefully. Every time your dog follows you, you respond. You look at them, you talk to them, you acknowledge them. From their perspective, that behavior works. It gets attention, it gets connection, it gets reassurance. So, what happens? They repeat it again and again until it becomes automatic. Now let's go deeper. Have you ever noticed your dog reacting before something happens? Maybe they suddenly become alert. Maybe they shift their posture. Maybe they look at you differently. That's not random. Dogs are extremely sensitive to microsignals: your tone of voice, your body tension, your posture, even your breathing. So sometimes your dog isn't reacting to the world around them, They're reacting to you and trying to communicate something back. But here's the real issue. Most people only notice behavior when it becomes obvious. When the dog barks, when the dog jumps, when the dog reacts strongly. But by that point, the communication has already been happening for a while. You just didn't notice it, because communication always starts small. A glance becomes attention. Attention becomes movement. Movement becomes behavior. And behavior becomes something you can no longer ignore. But if you learn to notice the early signals, everything changes. You don't just react anymore, you understand. Now let's bring everything together. The next time your dog looks at you, the next time they follow you, don't immediately assume you know why. Ask yourself one simple question. What is my dog trying to tell me right now? Because that question changes your entire perspective. It shifts you from reacting to observing, from assuming to understanding. And once you start seeing these patterns, you begin to realize something powerful. Your dog has been communicating with you all along, not loudly, not dramatically, but constantly. In small, quiet ways that were always there. You just didn't recognize them, and now you can. And once you do, you'll never look at your dog the same way again, because you're no longer just living with them, you're finally understanding them. Because what looks like a simple habit, following you from room to room, watching you silently, even waiting outside the door, your dog is constantly reading you. Your tone, your movement, your energy, even the things you don't realize you're doing. And the more you start noticing these small signals, the more everything begins to make sense. If this made you think differently, there's a lot more your dog is trying to communicate. You just need to start paying attention.